It was only a few days ago that the incredibly unfortunate incident of the tornado happened in Oklahoma. And I'm here in Mexico, and a few years ago we actually had a tornado that came through here, as you can see on that tree. The power of nature sometimes and how it can affect us in daily life is incredible. And so I wanted to take this opportunity a little bit to think about this unfortunate, distressing events like Oklahoma and like tornadoes, but in the bigger context of natural disasters that can happen in our lives, and they're worth pondering sometimes, even though they may seem distressing. I taught English in Japan for 6 years, and my city that I was in for the last 3 years was called Sendai, and you may remember this. There was an earthquake that happened, and there was a nuclear reaction, and 16,000 people died in a city that I used to live in. I was in Sri Lanka a couple of years ago, and in 2004 the earthquake in the Indian Ocean killed in 14 countries 230,000 people, 35,000 just in Sri Lanka. And these are unbelievably difficult events to kind of get our heads around, and yet we can take some positive lessons from them. We often think that things like that cannot happen to us, and yet just look at my own case. I mean, I lived in a city where 16,000 people died. I've been to a country like Sri Lanka, I've been to Thailand, and just by mere acts of chance, these things can happen to us and affects people who have families, kids, etc. Now, one of the things that happens often in these cases, however, is you see the greatest aspects of common humanity. People seem to somehow lose their egos, we lose the differences between people, and you have these incredible acts of heroism that seem to connect us all. It's as if we somehow get to a basic point between us of that nothing else really matters. Now, why is that? I mean, why does it take such terrible events for that to happen? I don't know the answer, to be honest. But what we can do is learn from those lessons a little bit of, like, we see similarities with each other. Everything else, the differences between us seem to somehow, roll over the cliff, so to speak. And we become kind of at one with each other. And so I'm going to do a series of blogs interconnected here on this issue. This is my introductory blog. And it comes actually in the wake of yesterday's terrible event in London of these guys, these Muslim radicals beheaded a British soldier, and a woman confronted them, and somehow they backed down when confronted with this woman. And I think the reason is because she managed to connect to them beyond all the ideology, beyond all the conditioning, that what they were doing was somehow wrong, no matter what the conditioning or ideology they had was. And I'm going to continue this in the next blog, but here I just wanted to get us thinking about nature, the powers that are in the world around us, and yet what lessons can we learn from such horrible situations. And the big one is, that I want to introduce here, is the connection between human beings. When we find what's common between us, can produce great acts of heroism, but we can also pull that into our daily lives of getting along well with each other. Take care for now. Bye-bye.